G'day guys, how you going? Sorry on the delay. I haven't been in the mood. I have not been in the mood to do this, and I was actually not even going to do a review this week. I was just going to. I'm out of. I'm out of things to say about our football club. I really am. I want to make something. First of all, Hawthorn. If you're a Hawthorn supporter, you're jumping on here. You got a great side on your hands, and a great coach. It's clear to see. It was. I said, if anything, going to that game on Thursday night, I was going to see a fucking really good football team play live, set the ground up beautifully. Didn't have it all your own way. I always knew that we would respond, we'd make it a scrap, which we did. But the difference in class was just, it was staggering, really. And it wasn't anything that I didn't expect. But I just want to make something really clear here before I start. And I don't want anyone to misinterpret what I'm saying here. 4 years in, we should not be in this position we are. Regardless of what anyone says about the quality of the list, about the quality of the coaching, the simple facts are we should not be in this position. Okay, it is actually criminal to think that we're in the fourth year of this, that we're still talking about the same things with this football club. We're still talking about the fact that it comes down to moments. Now, for me, moments are all skill and execution and a sustainable game plan. A game plan that can score and score regularly in different ways, that gives their forwards opportunities, smart forwards. A game plan where you have strong defence, set up really well behind the ball. A strong game plan, a strong method that works out the opposition. I can't believe we're sitting here in the fourth year, and we're still talking about the same stuff. And we're now in a position where you're coming into the year with these such high expectations. And I don't care what my opinion is here on our football team. I don't care what my opinion is. I don't care whether I think there are holes in this list, which I've said before. I don't care. But to think in 4 years that we're still in this position is unacceptable on any level. On any level, it has to be unacceptable. I just can't believe it. To go to that game on Thursday night and to watch the class divide between a team that was well behind us. With we talk about our stars all the time, but no identifiable stars on that football team. Hawthorn just really evenly balanced. But that could make us look so ordinary. The only way we could stay in that game, the only way we get was just scrap and scrap and scrap in wet conditions and to make it a fucking dogfight. But to the eye, the pleasure in that game wasn't us. And look, if we'd have won that game on the back of being able to sustain that, what we bring, okay, we would have all been happy, but we would have all known that is not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. Not against a quality outfit like Hawthorn. And I said it in the preview, that the only chance we would have if we make it into a scrap, because we can't do anything else. We just can't. We are not capable of doing anything else. And to think that in the fourth year of this coaching staff and this playing group, all in it together as far as I'm concerned, that we're still in this position. We should be better. We shouldn't have to be saying we came up with it against a terrific football team. I'd understand it if we were saying that about Brisbane or even a Collingwood. But a team that's, we're clearly behind us. Clearly. This time 12 months ago, we're clearly behind us. And now we're going, we came with the fight, but it came down to moments against a terrific football team. What the fuck are we? Like, what? We should be in this position. We should be. And as far as I'm concerned, the expectations is just lowered and lowered and lowered. Externally, they're lowering. And God only knows the expectations internally as well. When you're saying stuff like that. Oh, we came up against a terrific football team. But we battled away. We battled away like we were a fucking young team, you know, like we're a team we're in our infancy. Like we're only in our infancy. We've got a lot of work to do, but there were some good signs there. There were some good signs. You know, we're a young team coming up against a great football team. Fucking hell. Like, how long are we going to be talking about this? How long do we lower the expectations, then we get on the run, and then the expectations rise again, and then we falter again. There's consistent patterns under Michael Voss are just becoming, it's 4 years now, and it's like there is nowhere now to hide. You could hide in your first year, you could hide in your second year, and there was always a reason or it's kind of an excuse. In 2023, when we made the prelim, we just ran out of steam. We need to be a more consistent home and away team. Hoping that would happen in the following year, in the third year, and we weren't consistent. Exactly the same pattern, except it was the opposite. Started well, dropped away when the expectations were high. So you've got to question the leadership as well, not just the fucking coaching method of this outdated game plan where you think your only hope is contested footy. Everyone prides their game on that. Everyone. We just pride it more because it's the only thing we can fucking do. I said it in the preview, Hawthorn are quite happy to absorb that pressure. They've got tough midfielders who don't take a backward step. And they've got highly skilled midfielders. They win their fair share of clearances, but they make them count. Fuck, their overlap run, they just sliced and diced. And it doesn't have to happen constantly throughout the game. Okay? I reckon this game, if it was dry, this would have been 7 goals. 7 to 8 goals. Easy. And it never felt like, even when in that second quarter, and things, a little luck didn't go our way, a few touched, it never looked safe. Because you just could see the power of Hawthorn and the way they can execute. You know, and I don't want to be talking about, at least we can take away that we had a crack. I mean, fuck, are we past that? I mean, West Coast are playing Brisbane at the moment on the tube. Got off to a flyer. They're having a crack. But that's West Coast. So are we now lowered the expectations that much that we talk about having a crack? Come down to moments. Like, what the fuck does that mean? I mean, Michael Voss's press conference, God, that's the first time I've seen some serious cracks, how defensive he was with the journalists. He didn't necessarily bite back, but there was a bit of sarcasm in his tone in regards to going, I'll let you guys write what you want about Charlie. I'll let you guys create your own stories about the way we play. But we know what. Are you listening to the outside, Michael? Because that's what it sounds like. Sounds like you're listening. You won't be listening to this fucking stupid channel, but you'll be listening to mainstream media and what they're saying about us, and you're starting to bite back, mate. Because there is an element of truth and fact in everything everyone's saying about our club. And if the club internally, and I'm not talking about Voss, because they will go into protection mode. They will go into protection mode. But if the people who your Cooks and your Graham Wrights and if they're not doing a serious review on the state of our game plan, I watched the first half of the VFL, guys. I watched the first half of the VFL live stream. I had to turn it off at half time. I couldn't watch anymore. It mirrored us, and the lack, and it's one game. But they've had 3 practice games. They're full-on practice games at VFL level. It's like the start of the season. So this isn't just the first game of the year. There is not a lot coming through. Lemmy's a mile off. Billy Wilson's now playing in the midfield. I put out a video at the end of last year regarding Billy Wilson that he should have been probably a little bit dirty not getting an opportunity to get a game, considering Cooper Lord just came in, mid-season draft pick came in. His form was okay at VFL level last year, but didn't crack it. I would have liked it. I said it in the video. Go back and have a look. I said, get the kid, get him training with the midfield group. Let's see if he's got it. Get him training with Cripps. Get him training with Hewitt and Gerard. It would not hurt to have him part of that midfield group. They didn't do it. He trained all pre-season as a small defender, and now suddenly they've chucked him in, which is okay. Persevere with it, but he looks a mile off. Francis Evans, mile off. Jackson Binns, a mile off. The only one that could potentially come in is Jordan Boyd. But now we're now talking about Jordan Boyd as Wayne fucking Harms. And that's probably unfair because he is one player that can use the ball and will take on the corridor, who will be aggressive with his kicking. So he's got to come in. He was okay in the VFL. But it is bare. The cupboard is bare. And to say this game came down to moments, to me, it did come down to moments. But the moments to me, our moments are on the back of luck. That's the way we play. We play with luck. Get the ball out in the back line, rush kicks, bomb long, hopefully make it into a contest. There's always an element of luck with that. There's no real system. It's a method, but there's not pick your way through it or plan. There's not a lot of overlap run. You don't get through the zone like Hawthorn do with quick hands and speed and precision, good decision making. We do not do it. We just don't have the cattle to be able to do it. And while I'm on it, the lack of progression in someone like Lockie Cowan, I know it's only 2 games in, is just like, oh, wow. The kid down on confidence? Because what the hell are we doing with him? Because his decision-making and his bomb kicks are as bad as anyone in the team. And this is a kid that we had high hopes for. So the moments for us are luck. It's all it is. It's based on luck. But what I saw with Hawthorn, and it was clear, everyone could see it. Everyone could see it, guys. Everyone. Sure, every team gets lucky sometimes, but everything they do is just so well planned, so well executed, and that's not luck. It's just not luck. Their moments came down to just, and you talk about executing. How long does Michael Voss want to talk about execution in his press conference? We didn't execute. Our effort was good, but we didn't execute. I'll repeat. 4th year, this is just unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. It really is. And right across the board, the lack of real skill in this football team is, it's just staggering. It's staggering. And we've been talking about it for so long. So long. And I often wonder, guys, like, I often wonder if Voss wasn't coach. Let's say they moved him on. Say they moved Michael Voss on now. Just said, okay, you've had your go, bud. It's time to go. Like, enough's enough. You know, like we just can't see this progressing. You know, like you've brought some good things to the football club. You've tried to build a culture, but at the end of the day, you know, like we need to see the team progressing. You know, we need to see the game plan progressing. We need to see the development of these players. They're stagnating. They're not improving. And you can't get on runs, you know, like a nice streak and then just fall away. Like it just doesn't work that way, man. You keep talking about consistency. But if we just got rid of Michael Voss and said, okay, we know that Sam Mitchell is a top-notch young coach, could he seriously come in here and work with this group of players? I don't know. It's too hypothetical to answer. But could he come in and work with a midfield and a group of players that don't have the required skill to implement his type of game plan? So this is where I get a little bit confused. And because I can see the lack of progression in the game plan. I can see it. But I can see the holes in the list as well. Like I can see it. And not just in our second tier players, but I can also see the real deficiencies in our so-called stars. Now, the Hawthorn don't have those so-called stars. They just have players who can execute really well. The fundamentals of the game. Like Cam McKenzie and Josh Ward, to me, from an opposition supporter, just popped up out of nowhere. Like they were just so good. Like I knew they existed. But Cam McKenzie, to me, felt like he was everywhere. Now, he's the type of player that we want coming through. You know, that bloke to pick up his 20-odd disposals and get into really dangerous positions and use the ball really well and have high impact. The same with Josh Ward. But Hawthorn don't need to be talking about those players. We have this obsession with these so-called stars who have massive flaws in their game. And then there's this void and a massive drop away of blokes who just do not have an impact. So I walked away from that game just thinking, yeah, this is where we're at. Like, Hawthorn had passed us, given us whiplash, a serious case of whiplash. Couldn't move for 2 days, had to go to the doctors, get a neck brace, just taking it off. And we're sitting back internally saying we faced an exceptionally good football team and one of the best teams in it. And what's that saying about us? We just fucking lowered the expectations once again. It's like we're going backwards. Backwards always to go forwards for us. We never just can go forward, progress. Even if it's slow progression, we always have to go backwards in a big way. And that's a weakness. Feels like it's a massive weakness, not just with the game plan and the players concerned, but also potentially a weakness in mindset and attitude that you need to kick up the arse to get going constantly. You don't like expectation placed on you. You don't enjoy it. You don't embrace it. You say you embrace it, but really you don't. You go into your shells. And that could just be a guess and unfair, but that's what it looks like. And unless we get real transparency, and they don't have to tell us anything, they don't have to be honest with us. Why would they be? Like they're not going to be honest with us. But we have to guess, because this is a pattern, guys. It's a fucking pattern. Anyway, I'm going to get off. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do a quick review. I'm going to put some votes out. The My Blue Heaven medal for the best player. I'm doing that with my son Spencer. And also the My Blue Hell medal for the worst players. And that will be out probably tomorrow, guys. But I'm just going to do a quick rundown of the players while I'm here. As usual, Cripper tries his guts out. I mean, you can't fold him. You can't fold him. You really can't. But you know what? I don't see much of a difference between Cripper and John Newcomb. I really can't. In fact, John Newcomb uses the ball better and is just as effective and has just a bigger impact. It's just that Cripper's a star. He's got the reputation. It's as simple as that. And I'm just being honest. As far as effective goes, okay, they're probably on par. That was a beautiful kick, by the way, that Cripper did to Doc. Was it in the last quarter where it might have been at the end of the third quarter. Really important stage. It felt like he just pooped his pants. It was a great kick, you know. I think he was reasonable on the night. I think the midfield actually battled away pretty hard in the conditions, which they do. You can never fault their ability to find the pill. Okay, this is not really damaging. And how many of those can you have? We've spoken about that a lot. Same with Hewitt. Thought he was okay. You know, 28 touches, okay. Chera, he went behind the ball. Thought he was one of our best, which was a positive sign. Okay, is he A grade yet? I mean, if you want to put it in those terms, is he A grade yet? Is he more potential? Is there more hype around Adam Chera than what he actually produces consistently, or the impact he really has? Walsh is a concern. Spoke about it last week. A grade jet into a B grade plotter. It's a massive concern. It's a massive concern. We're seeing a demise of a what we would have thought to be a player that was going to be an absolute superstar for us. Leadership, everything, you know. For a very long time, we're now seeing just a guy that's can't cover the ground, looks sore, bombs the ball. I didn't like his game at all. I thought Cottrell probably had his best game he's had for a while. I thought he used it better than anyone in our team. Used it a lot, used it really well. Had a defensive role, but also worked well offensively. For him now, that becomes a benchmark for him, that game. That is what the expectation is for Matthew Cottrell moving forward. It's a 20 possession game with impact and also sort of running really hard. I actually quite liked his game. Motlop just kept working. When things weren't going away, he kept working. Still a long way to go. Probably should have had 2 goals. Ended up with just the 1, but I thought it was actually a positive sign. I thought it was. I didn't feel like he was out of place. There was a couple of frustrating moments. It was almost like he was really trying to find it. And there's one guy that's under a fair bit of pressure. Thank fuck we had Tom de Koning. Like, he kept us in it pretty much for the whole night. I thought he was outstanding. Saad, not quite sure what we're doing with Saad, but it's not working, apart from that time where he burst through the middle and kicked the ball long inside forward 50. That's the Adam Saad. That's the Adam Saad that we need, but we just can't release him. We don't know how to release him. He's not a great one-on-one defender. This is actually this could potentially be an indictment on the coaching group. You might be singling out someone like Adam Saad for not having high impact, but I would guarantee you if you chucked Adam Saad into Hawthorn's team, he'd be an absolute jet consistently, and Collingwood as well. So what are we valuing at our club? That's what I'm starting to feel now. Gov, similar to last week. Doc needs a spell in the 2s, simple as that, but probably won't happen. He's that far off it. It's not funny. Got a couple of goals, Zach Williams. looked dangerous a couple of times, but Jesus Christ, this is a guy that we need to be doing more, and it's a cameo role. Like, I think he needs to be more than a cameo player, particularly when you're that experienced. You're at that pointy end of your career where your body appears to be in really good check. But there was some okay signs. Wiedering, yeah, they did a really good job with Wiedering. They took him back to the goal square. We went with Lewis Young on Chol, and they had, I think, Hardwick really negating him. It was a really smart move. We knew that we wanted to use Wiedering as that intercept defender. He wasn't allowed to do that. Thought he had a relatively quiet night, and that was all down to great planning by Hawthorn. They stuck to their task with that. Thought Ollie Hollands did a super job on Dylan Moore, but we didn't get anything out of him offensively, and I thought the move was to get a lot out of Ollie Hollands in regards to ball movement and speed and ball winning ability. But can you knock a bloke for taking one of their prime movers out of the equation? What it does, though, you take him out of the equation, then someone like Nick Watson pops up, who is Adam Sard's direct opponent for most of the night. Jack Silvani, we talk about class, the distinct difference between the two teams, and this is a knock on Jack because I think he's come back in reasonable shape. But his inability to execute, and we've been talking about this for a long time now in regards to when he's a forward, he's not a high goal kicker, and he's not a great set shot for goal. He missed opportunities, and at the other end of the ground, the bloke playing the exact same position as him only needs 3 or 4 shots at goal, and that's Jack Gunston, and kicked some really important goals for them. Blake Acres, poor. Lockie Cowan, poor. Poor night for Lucas Camporelli. Lewis Young, horrendous. Nick Haynes started well, but was just unsighted after quarter time. Brody Kemp got no idea with forward craft. No idea. Runs back to the goal square. Space in front of him. Runs back, calling for the ball out the back. All he needs to do is get his player running towards him. Then he just got no idea. Wants the ball over the back all the time. Very, very disappointing. Charlie Curnow, one of the worst games I've ever seen him play, and Cooper Lord came on and just had no impact at all, and is just not a good user by foot, which was shown in that last quarter when he munged a ball running through the middle of the ground. That's it, guys. I'll be back for the votes tomorrow on My Blue Heaven. Tell me what you think about our football club. And well done, Hawthorn. You've got a super team on your hands.